All right, guys, I was just walking by through the laundry room to take my squash bag out and throw it in the car for later. I've got squash this afternoon. And I got the biggest shiver down the back of my neck. So I stopped to look at the photo album here again. And I know I made fun of this guy here and I felt bad about it. You know, I called him, I said he looked like a criminal. And I was just looking at it. He's got a bad haircut. That's what it is. So I was standing here having a conversation, as I do, being weird. My kids would say, "What, you talking to a photo album?" I was like, "Yeah, I was like, sorry I made fun of you, dude." And then I looked. He has a name under there. I can see it. There's handwriting. We talked about this in the last video. Somebody has written in here 100 years ago. They wrote with ink that has faded away to nothing. This book was soaked. It was in a house fire. It's very damaged. And anyway, I got looking over here at the next two photos. I'll flip you guys around and show you. And I was like, well, there's no names on here underneath. I'm looking, and I said, it's too bad, because some of these have names. Here we are, H. Reed and wife, right? This one, I believe this is Ellen, and I can't read the last name. But then I realized, look, there's writing beside the photos. If we tilt this, you can see it's super faded, but there was writing there. There was names, one for each photo. And for some reason, they wrote on the side. So, there are more secrets in this book. What I want to do is take some photographs of these names, this ink, and let's go to the computer and let's just see if I can play with it, the settings in Photoshop, and if I can brighten that ink up, if we can make it more legible. The problem is we have to get the ink legible, and then I have to be able to decipher the handwriting. Whoever wrote this, it's fancy script. Is it going to be, am I going to mix up the different letters that, stylistically, can we figure it out? I don't know. First step, let's take some photos. Also to note, my dad was here and the book was open to this page, and right away my dad looked at this young guy and said, "That kid looks like me." And I mentioned that to you guys in a previous video. When I flipped through here, I said, "That guy looks like my dad." And the name underneath it is Will Hibbard, I believe. Let's take a photo of one that we can read and see if we can make it better. And then we'll take a photo of one that we can't read. I know who these guys are. That's my great-great-grandfather Archie Reed and his brother Dan Reed. So we won't do those guys, but we'll find somebody here that I can't legibly figure out what the name is. Like this one right here. It's very faded. I have no idea who that young man is. Cocky looking bugger. But let's see if we can take a photo, if we can get his name figured out. Alright, so I actually grabbed a flashlight. We're going to try a little side lighting on here and see if that helps with the ink. Alright. Oh, look at how much that flashlight helps. I can read that very easily. Will Hibbard. John. Starts with B and ends in Y. Okay, very difficult. I've taken a couple pictures from various angles of John and his last name, and then I took a picture of, I put the flashlight on this writing over here. And took a picture of the blank spot with the bit of writing at the end there to see if maybe on the computer if we could make that out, but... Okay, here we are in Corel Paint Shop. We can clearly see this says John, but the last name, it's very hard to read. Looks like it starts with a B. Let's see if we can adjust that. Okay, so I think we're getting closer. If we take our infrared film with the blue and watch, if we play with these sliders, it's almost like making text appear. Look at, if we slide this back and forth, you can see the ink appearing.
Watching this section right here. So there's before the filter and there's after. Like I can, but is it actually helping me? We've definitely got some tools at our disposal. I mean, there are hundreds of tools and things that I can try, guys, tricks. I don't know. The hard part is just the bad handwriting to begin with.
Okay, so we're going to try a super high resolution camera now with a macro lens, which is made for taking extreme close ups. And also, I'm going to turn the light down on the flashlight so it's a little more diffused so we get a little more even lighting maybe on the names. Let's try this. I don't know. It's all experimenting until we find what works.
Okay, so here's a little lower angle. I've changed the camera lens to get down closer, and on more of an angle, we can clearly see John. This is not a problem. John. Okay, over here is our problem. Let's try the filters that we did last time. Let's sharpen this to start with. All right, guys, this might be the best I can do with, bringing this ink forward, and that's turning this into an infrared copy. You can quite clearly see John here now. No problem. We can see we can see every little nuance of that ink, the stroke. The page is actually damaged. The ink is actually missing here in this section right here. So is that the dot of an I up here? We're just kind of guessing, Is it Benny? Benny? Then what is this? That has to be something. Beaudry? Beau. Was it Beaudry? Beau. And then the part that's missing, a Dry?
All right, we've got the necrophonic. The hairs on the back of my neck have been standing up as I was in here taking photographs of this to work on the computer. And like I say, this all started this morning when I was just walking by and I got that sense that, hey, they were trying to talk to me. I know it sounds crazy, guys, but that's the only way I can look at this is when the hairs on the back of my neck go up, it's like they're somebody either here with me or they're trying to tell me something. So, what were you guys trying to tell me? Okay, that's full shiver down the back of my neck. Okay, before I turned the camera on, guys, I was like, what can I ask them here? What, I got some information on Dan. That turned on by itself. Full body shivers. Full body shivers. That turned on by itself. I shut it off to talk to you guys. I shut it down. Unless my hand accidentally hit it and started it, that is freaking weird. What I was going to say is, we learned a little bit about Dan here yesterday. My dad gave us some information that he owned a hardware store. And I was like, I could ask about that. And then Archie beside him was my great-great-grandfather. He died in his 60s, and I was going to say, what did he die of, I wonder? When I turned Necrophonic on and I said, I'm just going to let them give us a message, it said, ask your question, I think, something like that. And then it said, probably illness. It's like they were reading my mind. I was going to ask, how did great-great-grandpa Archie Reed die? And it's like they answered it without me even asking it. Oh, full body shiver. This is crazy. Do you have a message for me? Talk. Protect. I specifically want to send Lizzie some light, and I'm going to do that right now. I heard message, hug, received. That's awesome, Lizzie. Thank you. I feel love for you even though I don't know you. There I heard, yes you do, as in yes you do know me. You'll see, hug, again. So, am I a reincarnated person who knew Lizzie? There's my name. Oh, full neck shiver. Oh, this is crazy stuff, guys. Like, my neck warning system here, spirit system, has not stopped. That's still going, like full freaking shivers down the back of my head, my neck, down my back, down my arms. Who's here? Can you say your name? I want to bring all the stories of these people in this book to life. I want to remember them. I want to honor them. I want to pass that information on to my kids. And I think they understand that. And I'm sending out light to everybody in this book right now. All family members. All relatives, friends. I don't know who half of you are, but I hope to find out. Can you guys help me find out who's in this book? Yes, I did send out light, and yes, they just acknowledged it again. This blows my mind. And I'm super interested in this family connection, and I think that makes my connection stronger. My superpowers! I have to admit, there's something to this, guys. I can connect and talk to these people. I feel like I've had conversations, and I believe that. Call me crazy. There's just too much of this stuff that makes sense. Okay, so just a couple of quick questions. This fella here, John, what was John's last name? Did that say Benny? Because I think that was one of the possibilities that I came up with looking at that on the computer, and it said ship. And it has mentioned ship while looking at this before. Did this guy go on a ship? Did he, was he in the army? Was it when he arrived here? Did he come on a ship? I don't know. Alright, I tried something earlier that I didn't film, and I thought, this will be just between me and the spirits. And I moved this picture of this kid, Roy Amy. Don't know who he is. That's a much newer photograph, probably from the 60s, 50s or 60s. And I just had a feeling that that picture had moved. And so I asked the spirits, can you move it? So, somebody who's here with me right now, can you guys move that? Knock it off that book there? That would be ultimate proof that I can't see you or feel you. Well, the back of my neck can feel them. And my arm. My arm that's holding up the camera, it feels like tingly. Right on the bottom of my arm, just got tingles all down it. That was kind of weird. Can you move that photograph for us, please? Or start my phone up. That's an easy one to do. Just push that white writing right there. Did you start my phone earlier? Can you do one of those two things? Move that picture or start my phone? That would be freaking awesome. I believe. I know I'm talking to you guys. I know I'm talking to Lizzie. I know I've talked to Elta. Elta, are you here? Okay, if you guys look after me, then that means you're watching what goes on down here. And, oh, full big heavy shiver there in the middle of my back. Something happened to Aunt Angie this morning. And can you guys tell me what happened to her? I don't know if they said it or not, but Aunt Angie called me this morning because today was the day she was going to bring me the 10 questions when she came over to clean the house this morning, and she fell and she broke 3 ribs. So she's actually in the hospital this morning. So I told my wife to stop in and see her when she did her rounds. I don't know. I think she's okay. I don't know what happened, if she slipped on some ice, like getting ready to come over here this morning. I don't know. I just know that she's not coming. We're not getting those questions. I think she's doing okay. I will update you guys when I know more.